Hello everybody, welcome at a new episode of Commander Conquest of the Americas. I have done one episode before and found out that after applying a mod my entire game was wrecked, so I decided to start over. I will do a brief introduction of the game and show you a little bit before I really start, because most of the introduction is actually done in my previous episode. So here we are with the welcoming screen telling me that I've been selected to act as a Viceroy of the Netherlands, and I have a small fleet available, and I'm off to sail to the new world where I will find new riches. I have to found a colony for that. I'm not alone, so sooner or later I will run into a problem. I got some advice, and every once in a while those advices will tell me what to do. Kinda, hey, listen, here's a new mission, do it or suffer from the consequences. Usually consequences are their reputation damage. On top of that, another message is telling me about Pirate Treasure Chest, which is a DLC. And with the DLC we had the city of Tortuga added. And although Tortuga was actually an island, well, it's a city here. What I can do is sail my convoy to that city. Of course, I can conquer it if I want to, but I could also use it to buy or sell ships I capture from the enemy. I can sell them over there. I can buy ships the AI stole from an enemy, and I can hire pirate convoys to fight for me. On top of that, I'm also able to trade all kinds of resources and other goods which are available to me either through my home port or as a colonial item on the map. As for the map itself, it's a pretty large map considering it's about the age of colonization. We start here in the north of Canada and follow the northern Canadian coast all the way down Newfoundland, coast of USA, Gulf of Mexico, Central America, northern part of Southern America up to, well, I think it's called Recife in Brazil. The Windward Islands, although I'm unable to colonize there except for one spot, or two spots actually, because the other one is usually around here at this big island. And eventually we have the Dominican Republic and Haiti, Jamaica and Cuba, plus over here Bahamas. So that's basically my map. Then we have, of course, convoys. I have to do my trading with a convoy. The game provided me with
We
one
are ready for action, sir.
convoy with a captain and 3 ships. One of those ships is the warship, a carrack. The other 2 are caravels. They are ocean-going ships. Later, after I founded my colony, I'm also able to do coastal ships. Coastal-going ships meant for shallow waters. And, well, I can't build them in my home port, which is the city of Amsterdam. And over there I can build ships, multiple, and one of the effects of the mod I'm doing is that several ships are actually set up twice. One reason for that is that the original ship was still here, but the mod added new versions of that ship, giving more cargo space, difference in crew, minimum and maximum crew, as well as the ability to have more soldiers aboard or not, and the hull points and sail points are damaged, not to mention the number of cannons and ammunition. So I started with some ships, everything else is locked up over here. For now, that is. The brig will be available in 6050, and that's another part of this mod, that the ship will actually... Hey, wait a minute. Carrick 80, Carrick 50. The ships are actually being built according their historical era. So the Carracks and the caravels, which were more or less the first ships used to cross the ocean, are indeed available early on. Later we will get the Fleet in 5080, the Indiaman in 1620, and so on. Galleons 1520, both, but one is set for trading and one is set as a warship, even though they both show the warship sign. For each and every ship I got the option to do some improvements. Each improvement will have a positive and a negative side, like the battle deck improvement gives me an increase on sail hit points, but at the same time the ship is less maneuverable. So that's the positive and the negative. The reason I can use it is protects crew from damage and makes boarding more effective. Since boarding is one of the things you will have to do for a warship, this is pretty nice. Handling, increase speed and amount. You need more crew, but better maneuverability plus better speed. Accuracy in cannons, better cannons fire them, meaning doing more damage, meaning battle is finished faster. Cargo space increase. This is basically the choice, really the choice for a cargo ship. Although it's 10%, and we have this 45 cargo Carrack, if I add this, it means 4.5 and it's rounding up to 50. But 5 cargo on 45, well, divide it 45 by 5 and you get a factor of 9. So that's about 11% in cargo, which basically means after I've done 10 trips, I've transported as much as I did in 11 trips, but I paid 10 times the 60 gold. So I'm saving money and earning money. That's the reason why it's the cargo space increase is that important, and it will even do better on an Indiaman. I mean, 16 points. Hey, nice. Heavier cannons. It's something very useful for the bigger ships. Not always, because heavy cannons is already... I have to find a ship without heavy cannons. Hang on. Carrack. Light cannons increase it by 1 and I actually end up with, although it shows light cannons, it will have medium cannons. Medium cannons mean more damage means faster finished the battle. That simple. Hull strength is the thing you choose if you want to do lots of boarding and if you had to do lots of fighting. Giving a sturdier hull, yes, you can have a little bit few less people aboard your ship. If I'm not mistaken, no. You will slow down, you can compensate that speed with other options, but for a fighting ship it's a nice one because it basically means, okay, stronger hull, less damage. Similar can be said about improved rigging. More points means less damage is done, and in this case you can actually use it to compensate the hull. Because 7, 8. So you compensate one with the other. Add, for instance, the maneuverability to it, another 5%. You won't notice it here, but it will help. Sails maneuverability, I need less crew for it, and in combat, steering the ship is better. So there are several options, several combinations possible depending the task of the ship. And as said, it depends at the time when a ship will become available, when to use it or not. There's a building time, there's the cost of money, and there's a queue showing how much I am going to build, which right now is nothing. The other thing is, there's a port, and inside the port, sooner or later, when your ship is built, they will end up here. After that, I have a choice. I need to select the ship and choose to move it to an already docked convoy, or do I have to create a new convoy? I can even move ships out of the convoy back to the docks. I can repair the entire convoy, or the selected ship can be sold. Simple. People. Well, simply said, it's people management. Load up settlers, load up soldiers. Settlers are used to increase my colonies, soldiers are used to protect them. And soldiers are also used for your boarding action. So for warships it's always wise to have soldiers aboard. Trading ships not that much unless you want to increase the number of soldiers in your colony, or if you have a garrison, or better, later a fortress, you will need the soldiers there. Simply protection, protection, protection. And as it was said at the start, sooner or later you will start fighting with nations. In my game it won't happen that soon, because another part of the mod is that the entire map got increased number of colonies. We can hire captains here. If I create a colony and I'm not happy about the captain, and I say colony, if I create a convoy and I'm not happy about the captain, I can hire a new captain. It will cost me money, but at some point I will have a captain which will suit my needs and I'm happy. This captain, for instance, has repair skill. And even if it's only for the flagship, it's a nice feature when you're in a naval battle and the enemy has been destroying your sails. You can repair your sails at least 10%, and after that you have to wait for 1 minute before you can repair them again. But sometimes that little bit of repair, even if you have a cooldown of 60 seconds, may give you just enough speed to get out of the firing arc of one of your opponents or multiple of your opponent's ship. Be safe, do that last salvo and force them to surrender. Or if they don't surrender, board them and they will surrender. What else do we have here? Well, a carpenter. Carpenters are used to repair the hull, but it's only 10% per month. I have them in my trading convoys the option, always option on to automatic repair when they enter port. So that makes a carpenter not really useful. I think in the convoy patrol option, the repair import option is there as well. So I don't see the usefulness for a carpenter. Similar to the sailmaker, he is repairing everything from the sails and the rigging, but yeah, like I said, everything will be repaired in port. A surgeon is more useful because a surgeon is making sure that not everybody in your crew will be killed. At least 1/5 of your crew won't be killed. It's that simple. They get 20% less damage. So with the random number generator, it means that 20% less damage also means that 20% get less killing damage. So 20% of your crew survives. 20% more of your crew after the battle. If you're playing smart, most of your crew will actually survive the battle, and as soon as you get into port, all killed crew is replaced. For the soldiers, for the boarding action, you need to do that yourself. Then we got a cook, and for coastal ships a cook is very useful because it increases the vessel range by 20%. And with that I am, for instance, able to move from Haiti all the way to the Gulf of Mexico, enter a port there, which one of my colonies, and sail back. Without cook I may actually have to drop in another convoy, being one of my own or one of the AI, where my ship will replenish its food and water stocks before moving on to my colony, and with that I will save time. So the cook is, for coastal ships, even coastal patrol ships, in my opinion, one of the more important person. The next one certainly is gunner. 50% more damage. 50% more damage means 50% faster chance for your enemy to surrender, which means a 50% faster chance for the fight being finished. The marine officer is more or less similar. 20% firing range and 20% efficiency to soldiers boarding action. One of the things soldiers do when the enemy is within range, they will fire the muskets at the enemy. So even if you are trying to destroy the sails of a ship, because a ship without sails is floating like a duck in the water, easy target. Even if you're doing that, before the sails are down, your marines, your soldiers will already try to kill enemy crew or soldiers. And with that, you can gain an advantage. It's important to have a marine officer aboard, because if you're able to get out of the firing range of the enemy soldiers while being able to shoot them yourself, you get the upper hand. And as soon as you have the upper hand, I keep repeating it, faster fights, faster finished, lucky you. Boarding action means the same, faster fight, faster surrender, finished sooner. Navigator is useful for both combat and trading fleet, although personally I'd say better for trading fleets, because you get 20% more speed. And with 20% more speed, it means after 5 trips you you have actually done. You have done. No, I'm doing the calculation wrong. It means that you're able to do 6 trips with navigator. In the same time, you would be able to do 5 trips without a navigator, which means 6 times selling stuff, which means 6 times making money, which means a faster profit, and faster profit means more money to expand either your fleet and your colonies. A lookout is useful if you're looking for specific locations like colonies or certain pirates, because sooner or later we will have to hunt the notorious pirates, and yes, that was a spoiler. So with the lookout, the chance to see that is better. And finally, the constable increases crew morale by 20 points. Crew morale is important because the lower it is, the sooner a crew will surrender. Some point sooner or later, a captain, being it a pirate captain or a captain of a nation, a captain of a warship is able to pick a skill to have a 20% morale loss at the start. The constable is basically making sure that even if that happens, the crew morale stays at 100. Captains are also able to boost the morale of the home fleet by 20 points. So even if the enemy is having a captain lowering its own morale, or lowering the enemy's morale, you have a constable, you have a captain doing the 20 points, you already start with 140 points in morale. It's giving you an edge. A crew with high morale won't falter, a crew that won't falter won't surrender, a crew that won't surrender will make it harder for the enemy to capture, to end a fight. So it helps. I will explain more about captain skills later as soon as we get there. The final screen in the hometown is one we also have in the colonies. It's the trading option. There are 4 ways to trade based upon 3 different sources of resource. The first of all is the trading post, and with that one you're able to pick up goods being sold there, which are sailed to another location, and you either change it from the convoy to that location or not. The convoy is always on the right, it's not marked here right now. So one option is trading post to convoy. A second option is trading post to warehouse. With that I'm able to buy goods myself or drop goods in the warehouse and manually sell them to the trading post. And one of the things I realized earlier today is that I actually need to keep each and every good at least 1 item in the warehouse. The reason, when I click at the symbol of that specific item, I get a price list of the colonies, my own colonies and my capital, and Tortuga, a buying and selling price. If at some point, and here comes the next spoiler, the AI offers me certain goods, a certain amount for a certain price, I can close down the message without even accepting or rejecting it, open my warehouse, the trading post warehouse, click on the symbol, see the price list, okay, they want this amount of gold for 100 and that pieces of whatever. Check it and be like, hey, calculator, oh, but what they're offering is, what they're demanding is far more as what I'm able to get when I sell it off in my trading post or my capital. No way. So you're able to calculate if you're making a profit of an AI offer or not. Usually you don't, but having the means to actually check how many of a certain goods you're stocking in the warehouse is very useful. And the final option you have is trading from warehouse to convoy. That's what you do when you want to stockpile one of each good in your warehouse. A similar screen as what we have here will be showing up later when we have a colony with some additionals, because the last thing is home port, the name of the city, the number of colonists I had previous month. I haven't started, so no colonists. The current amount available and the morale of all my colonies. And the morale is determined by a lot of things, especially buildings and some sort of protection. So not in the end, also the availability of some goods. So that's the home port. Now we got the convoy.
New orders.
As said, 3 ships, 1 carrack and 2 caravels. That's what I start with. First option, captains. And as said, captains have skill. Here's 1 eagle eyes, 20% fleet range in the strategic level. It's basically the same sort of skill you can have from a lookout, and it's very useful if / when you're looking for pirates or colony locations. My annual cost, my average speed, my cargo, availability cargo, and the amount of I'm using. And currently 50 colonists on board, which explains the 50 cargo, no soldiers. Names of the ship and their type, as well as how are they doing, and the availability of cargo space. And cargo, squadron cargo is when I actually start transporting goods. Set at auto repair. So name of my captain, the port rate and his age. That's it. That's 1. Set home port as destination. That's a manually command. It will turn to Amsterdam, and over there I can do stuff. Move or add a squadron. I will do that later. Over time I will create 2 trading fleets made of 5 ships, protected by 1 combat fleet also of 5 ships. And when combined I will add those ships together as 1 fleet, which means I have to set up 1 trading route. It's that easy. Automatic trade, we will get to that, and we have a nice guide for it. Stop, anchor, self-explaining. Patrolling, basically self-explaining. I can set up multiple routes. If I want to attack a colony, well, it's self-explaining, but it means you need to fight. Now, with all that done, I will actually sail to my favorite location, because I know there will be a colony here.
Executing your orders.
And my help text actually changed to tell me when I found a colony spot. I will also focus the convoy, and next to it we see 1 ship of a competing country, and in this case it's Denmark. So let's move out.
We shall set anchors here,
Now we shall,
sailing to port.
and there we are, the ability to found a colony. Now I will do the explaining. What we have here, first of all, spot of colony, we see the ships and the people. We see that we have 5 different resources here, and the more the size of my colony increases, the more resources I start to harvest, but also the not only the amount but also the type. So I will most likely start with spices, and maybe when I'm lucky with sugarcane, over time tobacco, more spices and wood will be added. Crap, I forgot to pause the game. What's useful, spices won't be processed, sugarcane, tobacco and wood will. And the higher the level of production building, the less resources are needed to produce more finished product. And finished products are the ones bringing in the most money. So I will start a colony here, and since I picked the Netherlands, I will call this colony Nova Hollandia. After all, everybody thinks Netherlands is Holland. It's not. Holland is a part of the Netherlands, but never mind that. I won't go into that. Now, colony founded, and as you can see, I got some message about advisor logic, telling me what to do, etc, etc. I have a colony founded as it was a mission, so I got 5,000 golds, which is nice because I will need it. Meanwhile, I also got a new mission. First import, meaning I have to buy stuff from my colony and sell it to my hometown, and I need to increase colony population. I can do both missions with the same convoy, and as a matter of fact, I can even do that in the same trade route because both are beneficial for me, so I will do them. What I will do, well, is look at Nova Hollandia and see that now I'm only able to pick up spices.
What
Select
are your orders?
the convoy, trade route planner, and here we got the tutorial again. Select port, Nova Hollandia, buy, and I will buy as many as possible. 1,000 spices. Select port, Amsterdam, sell 1,000 spices, pick up maximum colonist, pick up maximum ironware, and while the tutorial tells me to move back to Nova Hollandia, I won't, because there are more goods I need to buy here, and I'm going to do that. I will sell them all off at Nova Hollandia. I got everything 1,000 listed here. I forgot those guys. Now I will move to Nova Hollandia and tell my captain to sell everything I have, a maximum amount, and there's nothing here. Now it says last step, finish. No, I won't. because I will delete everything. Why do I do that? Because first of all, maximum of everything means I can only pick up a colonist and I won't be able to pick up the other stuff. So I will buy 4 ironware, 2 jewels and 2 silverware, 4 of the rest. So 3, 4, 5, 20, 22, 24, 28, 32, 36. So I can actually get 50 colonists and 4, hang on, 36, 40, 90. That's not enough. I got 120 something. 50 colonists, 100 colonists, and we'll see what happens. And because I used 1000 earlier, everything is unloaded, nothing is listed here. And now I'm telling to accept.
Yes, sir.
And
We
trade.
shall begin trading.
I'm able to tell 120. So I need to check 120. 8, 10, 20, 40, so I can actually pick up 50, 80 colonists.
Trading route set.
That's it. But I won't unpause yet because we're going into Amsterdam, to the dock, caravel, and as said, I need a faster ship. Plus more cargo space. Cost me 44,000 gold, almost 45,000 gold, but it will help. 7 months from now, so it's March. In October 1500 I got an extra ship. And that extra
Ready
ship
to fulfill your
being
commands,
added
sir.
to here, considering I got 120 at 50 and I got 170, and I'm still not done. Well, I think I'm done, because I'm not going to hire a new captain with a fighting skill. It will cost me too much money. That's part 1. Next part is I need to build some things. First of all, a smithy. It's a basic building, I will need it, really need it. And second, the church. Church is a morale boost. So there it is. And there's a choice in other buildings. Some may be needed, some won't. Cigar factory will be needed, but it's available at a certain date. And where is the other thing? A curing house is available. I can do it right away, but I don't need it yet. Then we have a nice flowchart, but it actually does. Sugarcane to the mill gives sugar, sugar goes to the distillery, distillery gives rum. So my goal is not to sell sugarcane, but rum. First, going on pause and the ship is sailing off, and it
Squadron
didn't
standing
pick
by.
up anything yet because there's nothing there. And I think it may be quite some time before I'm actually able to move the sugarcane production. We'll see. Meanwhile, I know the competition is founding colonies as well. So I have to keep an eye on them. And the only way to do that is letting my conf sit and look at the big map. And what do we see? The Spaniards are located in Jennings and they have whale as a resource. Danish are located at Iralaya and they too have whale as a resource. There's a lot of whale actually in this game. British located in Cameron and they will start trading tobacco. Tobacco is a nice one, it's quite a nice money maker. The French are located in Baltimore. Iron is one of those things you actually get free tiers for production as well. If you find a production has a nice one. Portuguese are located in Red Point doing fur, and we get another message. And I'm still missing, there they are. The Empire is located in Kashichevan, Shevan or whatever, and they too are dealing with fur. So, I will make notes of that later.
We are ready for action, sir.
We have at this time my squadron returning, 80 colonists, 4 soldiers, and the rest are goods. And apparently something wasn't here or they didn't buy it. Looks like tea and some other stuff weren't there yet. Okay, so yes, I know that. More colonists, yada yada yada. Construction complete. I have a smithy. Yay! Mission, import and colony. So, colony population will be the first. I need 50 transport and 50 colonists at least. Well, I think 80 will do. We'll focus on the convoy. Ding, one mission finished and the advisors are happy. One is overjoyed, 2 are overjoyed, 2 are pleased, so they're happy. And my convoy is sailing back with 52 spices. As said, here's the global spicing chart, and we'll see Tortuga. I can buy it at 91, but I receive 80. Nova Hollandia. I have to buy it for 114, but I will receive 80. Amsterdam, buy it for 296 and receive 207. So I'm almost making double the money from the spices, which is nice but not good. We got more message. First of all, I got another 5,000 gold coins for those 80 colonies. It's a one-time payment, so bye. This also tells me what I said before: the more population you have, the more you will get from resources. And as said before, I will move one of each item to my warehouse. Selling 80, average price 141, because now I'm always able to bring up this price chart. With the smithy finished, I'm able to do the next thing. I also need to be a little bit careful with money. So what's actually needed? A courthouse giving me a minor boost. And how much? Well, the first one free, but it's costing me 55,000, and 55,000 is quite a sum when I have only that, so I think I'll wait. Garrison will be needed at some point, giving a small morale boost, but I'm able to have 500 soldiers here. The palace is needed and it's going to be a mission, but look at this: 125k for 2 years of building, 5 points in morale. At some point everything will increase morale, and I'm usually trying to keep an average of 70, sometimes above, sometimes below, but it helps. Shipyard will be used. It doesn't give a morale boost, but it makes it a lot easier to build ships here, because I need to build coastal ships over here. Now let's see what they're talking about. First, import added 5,000 gold to my treasury. Thank you. Now, where to build my ship? Yes, I know that. Home port or colony. So, I already told that. And a caravel is completed in Amsterdam.
We are ready for action, sir.
And it's sailing back. So, first thing I do is sailing
Course set to Europe, sir.
Amsterdam again. Wait for it until it's in port. Add the new ship, and if I'm not mistaken, I get 50 cargo space, which means I can bring 50 more colonists. It's in port. So, docks, there's the ship, 50 cargo, move, done. Now I've
What
got
is your command?
50 extra, or actually 51. That's funny. So I'm going to do this. First of all, 50 there. And one here. 230 colonists.
Squadron waiting for commands, sir.
Amsterdam. 130 and 5. When I agree to that, since everything is already set at unloading 1000 or maximum,
Whatever you say,
accept
we shall do.
and go. And it's sailing back once again in its normal route. And I made a mistake once again, because I should have bought a navigator. Meanwhile, morale at 70 point. Reason, tax. Later the church will be added and I will increase the taxes a bit to 5%. It's not much, but it helps. And with higher morale I'm able to increase the tax rate at some point. Also, I'm already able to pick up 51 spices, so, and there we go. Wheat for 13,000 gold. I think I'm going to do that at a loss. Let's see. $141. No thanks. It's going to be a loss. So no. And here's the resource flow story. Yes, I know that. There's my mission, build a palace. Not yet. So 5% taxes is already too much. Let's move to 3. Trading, yes, I know that. It's all basic information. I will skip because I have been explaining that already. Spices.
What shall we do, sir?
And I need to get a navigator aboard. So what I'm going to do is order it to return
Fleet
to port.
sailing to home port, sir.
Pause. Amsterdam. Buy a navigator. 4,000 annual fee. Sorry, 4,000 to hire it. 330 have annual fee. But 20% speed is useful.
We
Very
are waiting
useful.
orders, sir. This will make us a fortune.
It will indeed, because I'm doing 13.6 knots right now instead of the 11 something I did before. Back to focusing. Also,
That makes no sense, sir.
we have 3 buttons here. First of all, diplomacy view. And it tells what you're doing. These are my competitors: France, Portugal, Britain, Denmark, Spain, and Empire. Empire is the empire, or the the Holy Roman Empire, which basically the Holy Roman Empire was basically a lot of German countries, princedoms, kingdoms, city-states, bishoprics, and as well as Austria, Czechia, Slovakia, which was called Bohemia at the time in 1500. A part of Italy, the northern part, but that was later on. The Netherlands for a little bit, for a while. Part of current Belgium being Flanders, Brabant and Limburg. So that's all empire, which, like I said, is the Holy Roman Empire, of which someone said it wasn't holy, it wasn't Roman, and it wasn't an empire. There's some truth in it. Anyway, I'm rambling. What we see here: my wealth, the advisor standing, the colony, my population from the colony. I need 50 for a new colony, so I can found my second colony, and I am going to do that soon. 3 trade ships, 1 warship, no ships destroyed, no ships lost. Stands to the other countries, they're all neutral to me. They all have certain aspects, and France doing more damage with solar shot, faster ships, more expensive ships, so the French will be harder to catch in the war. Not to mention, they will destroy your ships faster. Fortunately, when I capture or destroy their ships, it will cost them more money to replace them. Britain: improved boarding effectiveness, grapeshot damage increase, and lower starting morale in colonies. So when playing a British, because I can choose all nations if I want to, but the British will always aim to board your ship because they have a boost on that, and they will always use grapeshot as soon as they can, because it will not only reduce the crew at the other ships, but with the extra damage they will do it faster. Downside, they have lower starter morale, so for them it's very important to build certain buildings to increase the morale of your colonies. Portugal: increased range for coastal vessels, improved effect from churches, lower supply of colonies. So what does it mean? Well, first of all, increased range for coastal vessels means with a cook they can even travel further with smaller coastal ships from one colony to another. Improved effect from churches basically means you're getting more morale points for them, so it's easier to maintain the morale in the colony. And lower supply of colonies means that it's harder for them to get to the needs for a new colony and found one. Spain: similar, improved effect from churches, so better morale in the colony, lower standing with natives, which most likely means they will have more problems with native attack on the colonies. Increased flow of gold ore, so even if the Spanish if the Spanish find gold ore, they will get a better number out of it, higher number, and with higher gold ore you're able to make more gold bars, which are sold. And yes, more money. The Empire: increased flow of silver, increased standing with natives, increased starting morale in colonies. So increased flow of silver ore, just like gold, is melted down to bars and sold. So they were having more silver being melted down in bars, so selling off more bars. Increased standing with natives most likely means the natives will sell them more items, colonial items, and attack them less, while the Spanish with their lower standing will get less items from natives and more attacks. So it's the other way around. Increase starting morale in colonies. Well, easier. You can reduce you can stop not focus at building some building that increases morale if you already had a higher level. Denmark. Increased flow of iron ore, and iron ore is used in iron and eventually steel goods, so with an increased flow of that, it means they get better of those. Increased supply of colonies, which means they're able to colonize faster. Increased starting morale in colonies, well, I already explained that. You may, for instance, skip building a church for a while and instead focus at a production building. And last but not least, I got higher profit from level 3 items. And that's not only one, but that's all level 3 items. And as we saw, I will be able to get rum from sugarcane, so eventually I will sell off the rum for a higher profit. For iron, as said, I get steel, eventually steel goods, I will sell them for a higher profit. Gem cutter upgrades at a reduced price. Gems will be available in the north and you can either sell them off uncut and cut. When I increase a gem cutter, it will cost me less, which means an easier investment, which means more money for trading. Trade ships built at a reduced price. Well, I think that's obvious, they're cheaper. So currently 3 trade ship, 1 warship. France, 2 trade ships, 3 warships, so they have more ships. Britain have 1 ship less. Portugal 1 ship less. Spain 3 more warships. The Empire 1 trade ship less. And Denmark 1 trade ship less. So based upon navy, I'm okay, but my strength is found here. For now. It'll change because I'm going to aim at a new colony. But I will do that in the next episode. For now, we will continue for a little bit.
What shall we do, sir?
Because... or shouldn't I? I'm going to build the shipyard first. That's going to take 5 months. And with that done, I will start looking for another colony. And that colony will be used to start trading between the I will use the shipyard to build a coastal ship and start trading with the shipyard. A coastal water ship between Nova Hollandia and the new colony. And with that, transport stuff dropped off in the warehouse, and from the warehouse I will actually realizing that I need to store it in Amsterdam. But making it easier if I store it in my warehouse, I won't sell it for a loss, but instead have only once the cost. All goods are dropped in Nova Hollandia because when I'm doing that I only need 1 or 2 trading convoys of 5 trade ships to transport goods from my main city, Nova Hollandia, to Amsterdam. And smaller ships are going to transport everything from the supporting colonies to my capital, and at some point I'm actually able to produce bread, which will then move from my capital to the other colonies and increase morale over there. And here we got another message. My sphere of influence, which is the blue circle. The higher the population, the larger the sphere of influence. The larger the sphere of influence, the more goods you're able to pick up. In this case, now spices, and over in a bit sugarcane and tobacco. So I'll end here for now. I will continue until 1502, because that will make it easier for me to bring up the next and last screen, which are the finances. And that won't be long. I have no idea how long it actually takes, 1 month.
What are your orders?
But things are going, well, I don't know if I should call it well. Because if I start dropping off this in warehouse, the problem is I will pick it up here too. So I will most likely have to transport 1 item to a warehouse at some point and drop it off in Amsterdam.
We're ready. What is your command?
But as long as I'm selling it for 204, well, okay. And here we are. Time to open the last screen, financial view. What do we see? Well, how much I got from selling items. If I've sold ships, how much I get from that. Mission rewards, I did 3 things. Found a colony, increased population, and imports, which gave me 15,000 gold, 3 times 5,000. Other income, taxes. My guess is taxes. We can check Nova Hollandia, but I think it's taxes. Or diplomatic. Then we have my expenses, and looking at things, I buy for 31, I sell for 50, but the buildings, the colony upkeep, ship upkeep, etc., I am at a loss at the moment. I need to reverse that. So yeah, I need another colony, and whenever possible that colony has to have some sort of goods which make it easy for me to make a lot of money soon. And with that I basically need something like sugar or tobacco. So, well, I'm going to save the game, and with that, save the game, pause it, it's paused, save the game and end the recording, and the next time we will start searching for a new colony, because I already have a location in mind, but that's for another time. For now, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Have a nice day.